All right, so what we got here is we got to drill a whole lot of holes in this little plate. And when I say a whole lot of them, it's going to be a couple hundred, probably, or more than a couple hundred. So what we're going to do here is we got the lines as fine as we can get them. I'm going to take the smallest little drill bit that I can get. I mean, the smallest one. And all I want to do is go there and make me a little punch hole in the center. And that gives me a better chance of, being in a straight line versus starting out with a bigger bit. So we've got all of them crossed, and we're just going to take a smaller bit and come through here and make us a little punch hole everywhere we need a hole. We don't have to drill through it. All we got to do is get it started good, just like you would with a hammer and a punch. And we're just going to go through this whole process. And I may go with like a 1/4 inch bit. And I think what I do is go to get me a new bit. That'll make it easier on me drilling all these holes. This is a good bit of holes here. And a little bit that ain't cutting good will make the job a whole lot harder. This is just a little detail. That I could have just polished the bottom of it and left it solid. It would have been a whole lot easier. But it won't quite look as good. So we're taking a couple extra steps for cosmetics. I mean, if you're going to build the coolest mailbox in the world, trucker mailbox, you can't just throw it together. If you're going to call it the coolest in the world, it's actually got to be the coolest in the world. And I reckon you're going to have to put in some work if you're going to build the coolest mailbox in the world. What I want to do is change bits right quick and just make sure that the pilot hole that I'm drilling is deep enough to actually keep my bit from walking once I start to drill the actual hole. So I'll probably, once I start, I'll start with an 1/8 of an inch bit. And it looks like it'll work. It's gonna be hard to keep them all exact. Because even with the small hole, you're still walking just a hair off of the center. Putting that drill bit up in there as far as it'll go. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and wrap up the little video here for now. I'm going to keep on drilling these holes. It's going to be a long process. I'm going to start drilling some, and when I get ready to start actually drilling through, then we'll come back and we'll see what it takes to go all the way through with them. But for now, we're going to wrap this up, and we're going to go work on the truck a little bit. We'll come back. We got to drill all these holes out. Everywhere you see a little cross at, we got to drill them out. So, a lot of holes. All right, so what we got here is where we started drilling the holes for the grill up here. We're going to make us a little grill to go in the front of the mailbox out of aluminum plate. So I went here yesterday and we drew some center points where we were going to drill the holes. So I went through. I didn't videotape all the drilling of the holes yesterday because we had something else going on. But anyway, I've got the holes started drilling. What I'm going to do is take a couple more size bits and I'm going to open them up a little bit more. So we're just going to go through there and make the holes a little bit bigger than what they are right now. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to open them up. So we're going to take this drill bit. We're going to see if it'll right there and open them up. Once you get the initial holes drilled, they're pretty easy to go through there and mill them out a little bit more at the time. Don't try to get too big at one time, but you know, if you go a couple sizes at the time, maybe one size bigger, it don't take a whole lot of effort to do it. And I think I'm gonna go with maybe just a little bit bigger than a 1/4 inch. We're gonna drill out about three lines here, and then we're gonna make them whatever size. I'm gonna settle on whatever size I'm gonna make them. I haven't really locked into it yet. I don't know if 3/8 is a little too big for that size of hood, but we're gonna look at it and see. It's going to at least be a 1/4 to 5/16. It may be a little bigger. Okay. So here you can see we're starting to open the holes up a little bit bigger than what they are to the next size. So we're going to drop that. We're going to go up to a bigger bit, which is going to be 1/4. And that one there, that's a 5/16. That might be the hole that I stop on right there. I know it's at least going to be a 1/4. I didn't count how many holes ended up being in it. I will in a minute here, but it's a right good bit. So we're getting on up to about the size we want to be. So we'll go up one more size, and I think that may be the stopping point, which will be 5/16. That's 3/8. This is the 5/16 right here. And that's 5/16. And I think that's a good size for that size hood. If we go 3/8, I think it'll be too big. I think that's a good size right here. We're going to stay with the 5/16. So we'll go back to, we went 2 sizes, 3 sizes. We stepped it up from 7/32 to 1/4 to 5/16. We may give us a little oil on here to make it easier. So we got 25 holes across. That's 1, that's 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175, 200, 225, 250, 275, 300, 325, 350, plus 23, 373. 373 holes is what is in this thing. That's a lot of holes, not counting the mountain holes. 74, 75, 76, 77. So you got a total of 377 holes in this one piece of aluminum plate. So, yeah, that's a good bit of little drilling there. We'll just coat the top of it with some oil. Let it run down in the holes, make it easier. I don't want to keep stopping and starting. We'll put a coat of oil on everything, let it sit, let it run down in the hole. When I get there, it'll be there. How about that? So we'll go back to 7/32, and we'll just keep on. And once you get the first hole through it, with the 1/8 inch, I think we went 8 and then 3/16. But once you get that first hole through it, it ain't too bad just to open them up. You do it a little at a time. But trying to get that first hole and get each one kind of lined up. There's a couple of them that ain't perfect, just because the drill bit walked a little bit. But that's why I try to use the smallest drill bit I can to start with. That way, if it walks, it's not walking that much. And this mailbox here has been built. Every piece of it is just from one piece of sheet metal to the next. Every bit of it hands on. Every little piece on there is a unique piece just for this box. How many did I say there was? 370 holes. 373 holes. That's a lot of holes. All right. We'll get rid of some of this metal off of here. Flip it around. Dang, that's a lot of freaking holes. All right, let me get our air hose over here. I can blow some of that metal off there. All right. I think a project like this here, it requires, once it gets over a certain amount, you need to be able where you can be dedicated to it, to be able to finish it in a timely manner. A project like this, it can linger on for a long time just because there's so much stuff to do to it. But I think if you're going to do a project like this, you need to have some time where you can really spend on it. That way when you get going and you get the momentum moving on it, you can keep on moving until you get it done, instead of having to work on it here and there and whenever you can work on it. So you can still get it done. It just takes a lot more time when you got to work on something here and there. And when it's real tedious. If it is just something, it ain't real tedious, you can work on mess here and there. It ain't a big deal. But once it gets over a certain level of, complication, you got to be able to be dedicated, or you ain't going to get a whole lot accomplished on it. Or you will, but, it's going to take you a long time. And sometimes in between getting them projects done like that. If you ain't, got a real strong head, when it takes a long time like that, you could just get tired of fooling with it. Just leave it. Just walk away from it. So when you mess with something over so long, you want to see some kind of progress. Because when you don't see progress, you start getting discouraged to keep on moving with it. So this is one of them projects where you almost need to work on it, pretty steady to be able to get it done. So by the time I drill all these holes out, if there was 373 holes, so I'd be went over it with 1/8 inch, or I went through it and 3/16. But before that, I put a counter hole in all of them. So you got three. That's another bit that was maybe a 1/16 of an inch. So you got 3 times that, and then after them 3 times, you got 7/32, you got 1/4 inch, and you got 5/16. So you got 5 times that I've actually went over each one of these holes 5 times. So 373 times 5. That's getting up close to what, about 1,800 and something. It's getting on up there. So I've went over it 1,800 times individual by the time I'm done with it. 373 times 5, whatever that is. 400 times 5 would be 2,000. So, but that's why I say you need to be where you can stay working on it right regular. I don't know about y'all, but 1,900, that's a pretty good bit to me. Just the sound of it. 1,900. How many holes it was I drilled in them posts there? Like 134 times 4. 140. Oh, what was it? 34. That's 60. 68. 123. No, in the poles there. When I was drilling for the columns there. Well, I went back and put 1, 2, 8, 9, 10, 11, 34. 34 times 4, that would be 68. That's 138 plus 12, 148. So I got 150 holes in each one of them posts there. So that's 300 holes over there. Just in them columns, 300. 300 and 373. That's 673 holes right there. Not counting the mountain holes. That's 700 holes altogether just in this grill and them 2 columns. 700 holes. It don't seem like you'd have to drill that many holes, but that's what it is. 4-inch ones. So we'll go over it one more time with 5/16. That'll be it. All right. We'll get us we already drilled some of them up there. One more round. One more round. I might need me some cookies after this. All right. Woo! One more line. All right, that's 323 holes, 5/16 in diameter. Yep. So that's the rough end plate. We're gonna go with that size hole right there, 5/16. We're gonna clean all this oil off of it. We're gonna sand all the burrs off of it. And then when we get to the point where we're gonna polish it up, we'll polish it up. But I got to build some type of visor over the front so we don't get any water getting down in there. Because the front of it's gonna be an open box. So we got to have it though, even though the front's open, we're not gonna be able to get no water down in there. So we're gonna get off of this here for a little bit. We're gonna regroup and get some metal. I ain't really thought about an idea about the front as far as any type of visor, but I'm gonna think about it for a few minutes and then we're gonna get started building.